Starting out in KF2, I would not know where to hold out on maps. I could see the popular strategy was staying on the move, and it could work, but what if you wanted to hold down somewhere? Where could you hold down? I figured out the answers to these questions on every single standard map. Today we are going to be talking about 16 of the 33 maps in this video, and I'll have another video to cover the other 17 maps coming later. So let's take a look. We will start out with a map you have already seen, Biotics Lab. To determine the best spot on each map, we have to ask 3 questions. How many access points for mercenaries has it got? What are the closest ZED spawns to this location? With lastly, considering the first 2 questions, what realistic escape options has the team got from this location if things go south? So on this map then, we have seen hints of the best spot. It is staying just here in the processing meat grinder room, in line with the door in front of you, with the stairs just off to the left hand side. This spot has 4 access points, making it easy to get to. Enemies will come at you from the spawn points from the corridors in front of you, the stairs to the left, and the demonstration room, research, off to the right, merging into one choke point. And if things go south, run behind and right towards the room with the stairs leading up to the gantry behind the spot, or even run off to the right towards the demonstration room, run up the stairs in front of you to the upper gantry, head straight down the corridor, or down the corridor, then left if there are no Zeds blocking those directions. This makes this spot the easiest by far to hold down on Biotics Lab. For reference, the best, most balanced team composition that can hold this and honestly any of the other maps we're about to talk about would be a commando and a SWAT to clear trash Zeds, to keep them away from your high damage perks, a demolitionist and a sharpshooter, so they can focus on scrakes and flesh pounds, with a field medic to support the team and a berserk to hold up enemies, being the one to take damage whilst the rest of the team dish it out. We will now move on to looking at Outpost. The best spot here is between these 2 trucks on one of the edges of the map. This spot has 3 main access points, making it not too hard to get to. Enemies will come at you from inside the bunker out of mostly the closest door, but sometimes the other one, with them also coming up from the ramp on that side, leading up from the garage, merging into one choke point on this side. On the other side, they will sometimes attack you from the path leading towards this spot from that side, with them spawning in fewer numbers than on the other side. So you just need to have 1 or 2 members of the team cover this direction. If things go south, you can run in whichever direction has the least Zeds, usually the side away from bunker entrance 4, but it can be this side too. This makes the truck spot the best spot to hold down on Outpost. Focusing on the city in flames now, we have Burning Paris. The best spot here is in this room, with a trader pod and a broken window overlooking the street just above the subway. This spot has 4 access points, making it quite straightforward to get to. Enemies will come at you from the stairs and through this door, in about equal numbers. This can be welded to hold back enemies for a bit. Smaller enemies can also drop into the room from this vent, so you'll have to split your team to hold off both sides. If things go south, you can jump down here to go out into the alleyway, or through the shop area, out of the broken window, through the door and to the left, or through the door and to the right down the ramp. As a bonus spot, the area at the end of the street, blocked off by vehicles, can help your team regroup before heading to another spot, as although there are many ways team members can go, there are many ways that enemies can come to you. This makes the room with the broken window the best spot to hold down on Burning Paris. On to Volta Manor now. The best spot here is the horseshoe-shaped walkway next to the hedge maze. This spot has 4 access points, making it not too hard to get to. Enemies will come at you from mostly the hedge side of the walkway, so only 1 team member has to watch the other side. There is a vent spawn in the middle of this spot though, so keep this in mind too. If things go south, you can escape through the hedge maze, the cellar of the manor, into the manor itself, or into the manor on the right side, depending on where the most enemies are. This makes the horseshoe-shaped walkway next to the hedge maze the best spot to hold down on Volta Manor. Going down deep now, we have Catacombs. The best spot here is the small staircase in the room next to the large central chamber. This spot has 3 access points but is a bit out of the way. Enemies will come at you from mostly the staircase, so have your berserk here with all but 1 of your team on the railing looking down, whilst your last team member watches the bridge coming from the sewer area. If things go south, you can escape by jumping down off the railing escaping and heading through the door back into the main chamber, out the door leading into the museum area, or over the bridge into the sewer area. This makes the staircase spot the best spot to hold down on Catacombs. At a port in Denmark where people try to escape, we have Evacuation Point. The best spot here is in the cruise ship at the back near the hull. This spot has 2 access points and is not too hard to get to. Enemies will come at you from mostly the left-hand side, so have all but one of the team members watch that side, along with one player, preferably the medic, staying at the hull to make it harder for small trash ZEDs to drop down here, with one team member watching the right-hand side. If things go south, trying to get out via the exit ramp or through the cruise ship to the left-hand side is a bad idea, and although you can get out through the right-hand side, it is just easier to drop out of the cruise ship through the hull at the end. This makes the cruise ship spot with the hull at the back the best spot to hold down on Evacuation Point. Out into the countryside now, we have Farmhouse. The best spot here is on the 2nd floor balcony, either just on the other side of the doorway closest to the stairs or the doorway in the middle. This spot has only one access point, but finding where it is not too hard. Weld the other 2 doorways and shoot enemies as they exit the stairs that lead to the 2nd floor. Have one team member in the middle of the walkway to prevent enemies from spawning on the far side of the balcony. Your berserk holding off enemies in the doorway tends to be useful. If things go south, you can jump off the balcony into the open area outside. This makes the 2nd floor balcony spot the best spot to hold down on Farmhouse. It's now time to go into the Black Forest. The best spot here is the raised rock area near the end of the train, near the cave with the trader. This spot has 2 access routes, with it standing out, raised up against the valley below. Enemies will be funneled towards the ramp up to the raised rock, so have your berserk out front to hold them there, with your sharpshooter in the back to pick off sprigs. If things go south, you can get down off the back of the rock into the valley. This makes the raised rock spot the best spot to hold down on Black Forest. You're going to have to go to prison now. No passing go, no collecting £200. The best spot here is the guard tower in the outside area of the prison. This spot has 2 main access routes, but as it's so distinctive, you'll have trouble missing it. Enemies will converge on the entry point to the stairs leading up to the guard tower, so put your berserk here, with other team members behind them, apart from the demolitionist, who should be at the top of the tower, raining down explosives. If things go south, you can escape by dropping down from the top of the guard tower. As a bonus spot, you can hold this L-shaped cell block, the entrance to such you can see from holding the guard tower spot to the right. Have your berserk on the stairs on the left side, while the rest of the team holds the center of this spot, shooting at enemies coming from the right side. Not many enemies will spawn from the doorway of the left side on this floor, so that is the way to go to escape from this spot if you need to. This makes the guard tower spot the best spot to hold down on prison. Now we're off to a Horzine space station on Containment Station. The best spot here is the maintenance room with a turbine down the middle and 2 entrance doors that can be welded. This means that this spot has 2 main access routes. If maintenance is above one of the doors, then you're heading the right way. Enemies will come at you from either of the 2 entrances, but there is plenty of room within this spot to maneuver. If things go south, you can make your way out of this room through either of the entrances with the least enemies. This makes the maintenance room the best spot to hold down on Containment Station. We'll have to be careful here as we're on hostile grounds. The spot here is the T-junction near the truck tipped into a hole. There are 3 main access routes to this spot, so it is not too hard at all to find. Enemies will tend to come from the subway entrance that can be seen from this spot, the route perpendicular to the tipped truck, with some occasionally coming from the subway entrance on the other side of the map, or from the back lane with the trader pod. There is also a manhole cover near the center of this spot that small trash ZEDs can spawn from, so watch out for that too. If things go south, you can escape by heading towards the back lane with the trader pod. This makes the T-junction near the truck tipped into a hole the best spot to hold down on hostile grounds. We're not going to hell now, but to an Infernal Realm of some sort. The spot here is the corridor to the right of the giant clock in the front of the map. There are two main access routes to this spot, so it is not too hard to find, being near one of the edges of the map. Most enemies will come from the passageway leading away from the clock, and the entrance is narrow enough for your berserk to cover it. Some enemies will come from the stairs behind this spot, but it's rare for the larger Zeds to come from that direction. If things go south, you can escape by heading up the stairs at the back. As a bonus spot, on another edge of the map is a room with a trader on a raised platform, 2 doors, and an elevated spawn on the right-hand side. Have your medic stand on the center platform, and your commando and or sharpshooter cover the left door, as it has longer sightlines. This makes the corridor to the right of the giant clock the best spot to hold down on Infernal Realm. Off to a lovely tropical island now, or not so lovely, we have ZED Landing. The spot here is the beach, staying near enough to the trader pod. There are 2 main access routes to this spot, with it being on one of the edges of the map, it is not too hard to find. Most enemies will be coming from the left side of the beach, up towards the base of the volcano, and will often drop down off the cliff just here, to position your berserk here to take most of the enemy aggression. If things go south, you can escape by heading up the right side of the beach towards the cliffs from that direction. As a bonus spot, it is the corridor near the back of the map, closest to the volcano along the river. It has 2 entrances that large Zeds can come from, one at each end, multiple choke points, and the escape route is to simply drop down into the central chamber. This makes the beach the best spot to hold down on ZED Landing. We'll be off now to a city that has seen better days, Nuked. The spot here is the truck lot at the back of the large building on this map. There are 3 main access routes to this spot, with it being not too hard to find at the back. Enemies will tend to spawn on the right-hand side, but with moderate pressure coming from the left towards the tunnel, with even a bit of pressure coming from the middle. If things go south, you can escape down whichever side has the least enemies coming from it. As a bonus spot, the front entrance to the building can be held, with wide open streets for backpedaling, with enemies spawning mostly from outside the map, coming over inaccessible areas onto the street. Once again, you can escape by going in whichever way has the least enemies. This makes the truck lot at the back of the building the best spot to hold down on Nuked. We're off to what used to be a fun carnival now, the Tragic Kingdom. The spot here is on the roller coaster near one of the edges of the map. There are 2 main access routes to this spot, with it being quite easy to find. Enemies will have to come up the single path to get to you, and so long as you stay far enough away from the back spawn over the coaster carts, those enemies will just drop down to join the other train of enemies instead of coming to you directly. If things go south, you can drop down off the roller coaster from the open railing at the back. This makes the roller coaster the best spot to hold down on the Tragic Kingdom. Time to go to another space station, Lockdown. The spot here is the right corridor in the Med Lab. There are 2 main access points to this spot. Look for Med Lab above doors and you'll find it. Enemies would tend to come up from the long corridor, so have a close range perk watch over the shorter corridor to the right. If things go south, head down whichever corridor has the least enemies. Tends to be the shorter corridor. This makes the right corridor the best spot to hold down on Lockdown. You can check out part 2 of this series with the other 17 maps right here. Until next time, goodbye for now.